Hey, Tourpreneurs, it's Mitch Bach, and just a quick note before we begin today's episode. Tourpreneur is currently sponsored by Google. We're thankful for their support of our community, and we are offering with them a completely free course helping you unlock the power and potential of Google's Things to Do program, which is specifically helping tour operators add their tours to Google in new ways that gives you new exposure and more direct bookings. To learn more, go to tourpreneur.com/Google. And as always, show notes, more resources, links to our newsletter, our business coaching community, and so much more are available on tourpreneur.com. Now to the episode.
Welcome to another episode of the Tourpreneur podcast. Today, we're going to focus on a subject that is frequently overlooked by most tour operators: marketing with user-generated content, which can help build your brand and boost your bookings.
Hey, it's Mitch Bach from Tourpreneur here with a quick note before our episode begins. This week's Tourpreneur podcast is sponsored by TripAdmit. TripAdmit has come up with a fantastic new product called Tap to Tip. I remember being a tour guide 20 years ago and just waiting for that awkward moment at the end where your guests fumble into their pockets and whip out cash, or they don't. And that sort of all changed during the pandemic. We stopped using cash, and now everyone's dealing with PayPal accounts and Venmos and QR codes. John McGuire, you're the CEO of TripAdmit. You came up with something new. What did you figure out?
Hey Mitch, we've developed a digital tipping solution for the guides so that the guides, we provide them with a NFC card which they can tap off the back of their guests' phones. That will open essentially a web app, and then the guests can tip the guides digitally, either by Apple Pay or by credit card or whatever payment method of their choice. Because as you mentioned, it's the world is going cashless, and certainly is timely for the guides to look at digital tipping as a source of income.
So no app downloads, no scanning, no typing things into your phone. You just hold this card up to your guest's phone, and voila, they've got some convenient options to tip. Does the web app do anything else?
Reviews and ratings. But what we've done is we've taken the reviews and ratings one step further and integrated ChatGPT. So that ChatGPT it allows the guest to input into the review, but also ChatGPT will help write the review for the guest, and they can post it onto TripAdvisor or onto Google or onto the website of the activity book.
This sounds like seamless hand-holding to get guests to tip and review. That sounds like money in your guides' pockets and a great service you're providing. If our operators want to learn more, where should they go?
Well, if they want to know more, go on to tripadmit.com/tap to tip, and all the information is there.
One of my long-standing pieces of advice has always been, don't just run a tourism business, but run a media company that happens to sell tourism experiences. This approach helps you promote your brand experiences more effectively, cutting through the marketing clutter that we all face. You see, the competition isn't just between you and other tour operators. You're vying for the attention against every possible experience your customer could have. For instance, if someone's travelling to Barcelona, they could do a tour of the city, or visit the theatre, dine out, or take one of the other countless activities that are on offer. It is your job to stand out amongst these choices. Now, as I discussed in my book, Lookers into Bookers, consumers ultimately determine the brand's success, not the brands themselves. Your job is to convince them that your experiences are worth their attention. But remember, the trust they place in your brand is often based on others' experiences. The ideal way to achieve this is by showcasing user-generated content, real evidence from satisfied customers. It's a fact that user-generated content has a huge impact on purchasing decisions. Recent research shows that user-generated content influences decisions by up to 79%. In fact, Facebook ads get 50% more engagement if you use user-generated content. Think about that. If a customer posts photos, videos, or tags your business, their content can bring you more engagement than your own posts. And if that doesn't convince you, a recent study shows that you gain on average a 29% increase in conversions after using user-generated content. So how can you encourage user-generated content? Consider running a contest with a unique, memorable hashtag to encourage sharing. Create a photo or video competition. Each week or month, someone can win a prize for the best content shared. The prize doesn't need to be a free tour. It could be a voucher, a bottle of wine, or even a meal at a local restaurant. The idea is to encourage participants to share an engaging photo or video. The beauty of this approach is its cost effectiveness. The expenditure is relatively small when you consider the marketing value. It is basically the cost of a meal. It could be a free hot dog or a full-blown meal for two. You can decide how that works with your own experiences. But such competitions generate a wealth of user-generated content. You can then use this content in your own marketing videos and other platforms. But remember to say you will do so in your competition's terms and conditions. The real value of user-generated content lies in the time and money it saves you. No need to worry about tomorrow's post or spend hours brainstorming new, fresh ideas. If your customers are generating the content, you are saving a significant amount of money and time. Let's take a moment to learn from some of the biggest companies out there that have successfully utilised this strategy. Now, I'm sure you remember the Coca-Cola Share a Coke campaign. This is where they printed people's names on the bottles, enticing customers to find a bottle with their name on it and share it on social media. An absolutely genius move, because it provided Coca-Cola with tons of free user-generated content and resulted in significant savings. The Share a Coke campaign led to an 82% reduction in marketing costs compared to their past campaigns. Coca-Cola saved a substantial amount of money simply by leveraging the power of user-generated content, and that is it in action. The power of user-generated content also extends beyond the current generation. Only 1% of millennials trust brand adverts enough to click them. 1%. But if your ad uses user-generated content, it performs far better. When your content appears authentic and unpolished, millennials are more likely to engage and click through to learn. Just look at the success of platforms like TikTok and Reels to show how true this is. The key takeaway here is to leverage user-generated content, whether it's videos, reviews, consumer-generated blogs, posts, or any other type of content. It all helps. User-generated content gives your brand credibility and provides a unique perspective on your products. People trust other people. When consumers share their positive experiences, they become your brand ambassadors. Another great strategy is starting a Facebook group for your brand enthusiasts. They can discuss the experiences and share photographs and videos and interact with like-minded individuals. This kind of engagement significantly boosts your brand's visibility. For those looking for more on-the-ground ways of generating user-generated content, consider running scavenger hunts. Encourage participants to share their finds on social media with a specific hashtag to create a stream of user-generated content for your business. Remember, the more user-generated content you have, the more visible your brand becomes, and it cuts through that brand and marketing clutter. The visibility will drive more website traffic, which I guarantee will lead you to more bookings. So start to think about how you can engage with your customers more to help you generate more user-generated content. The more you do this, the more you will dominate social media and elevate your brand and see your bookings soar.
Are you interested in adding multi-day to your day tour business? Are you looking to understand growth and scale strategies in the multi-day world? Looking to finally crack the technology stack you need to organize, automate, and grow your business? Then join Tourpreneur in Seville, Spain for Tourpreneur Connect, sponsored by WeTravel, November 27th to 30th, 2023, for an event unlike any other in our industry. Open to strictly 100 operators. Pete, Mitch, Chris, and other industry experts will guide you through the do's, don'ts, twists, and turns of running a multi-day tour business. Not only that, Tourpreneur are giving back as we will be bringing in local suppliers and businesses to help us run the event. We're also opening up the event to a number of locally based tour operators, who can attend for free. So join Tourpreneur in Seville for Connect, November 27th to 30th, 2023, and join us for an unforgettable experience of learning and connection in one of Europe's most unforgettable cities. Visit tourpreneur.com/connect for more info.